All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our Parks and Rec Board meeting today on Tuesday, March 4th. First order of business will be to approve the minutes from our last board meeting on February 18th. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion seconded. I think McLean was trying her best a second, but with their voice being out, I don't think that's gonna, you're just gonna have to raise your hand on that,
Okay.
right? So, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, very good. So minutes are approved. Next order of business, resolution number 30158.
Yes, Commissioners, this is a consideration agreement for a plein air event to be done in Penn Valley Park by the Penn Valley Park Conservancy. And you have a memo in your packet from Shannon, and Shannon's here, and I know that she has a guest to talk
Yes.
about this event.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Afternoon.
This is a first-time event. Hopefully will become an annual event. Donna Boley is here representing the Penn Valley Park Conservancy Group, and they would like to put on the In Plein Air Fest for 2014 in Penn Valley. It'll run May 7th through the 10th, and Donna will give you a little bit of information on it.
Very good.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, welcome.
That always looks like it's in my face.
And,
We're very excited about the first event that the Conservancy has planned for Penn Valley. The chairman is Kirk Peterson, and he's not able to be here today.
Okay.
So you have me. The event is scheduled for May 7th through the 10th. The information has already gone out about to the artist, and we already have some artists signed up to participate. It's a 4-day event where the artist can paint at any time in the park during the 3 full days and a half day on Saturday. We're planning on having 4 quick draws, which are 2-hour paintings, and they will be in the evenings between 5 and 7. So we're hoping to bring people down into the park after work, and we'll have planning on getting food trucks and maybe some entertainment in the 3 evenings. And then the major part of it is on Saturday at lunchtime. There'll be 2 other quick draws, one for children and one for adults. And then the judging will be that evening, and with a private party at Brookwood Art Studio. I have presented to you what the Penn Valley, what the Conservancy is, the who, what, when, where. Also, a press release that has gone out about the event. And then the sponsorship levels. If you know anyone who might be interested in sponsoring us, please let us know. There are sponsorship possibilities for the event and for the various awards for the different paintings. And let's see. We've created an excellent website, and encourage you all to go look at it. That features not only the Penn Valley, the plein air event, but also shows everything that's going on around the park and in the park. And that's about it.
okay.
Is everybody aware of what a plein air? You have the plein air event along Rush Creek in the falls. We've had difficult time finding dates that work. For the park department and for other plein air events. There is a large plein air event out at Powell Gardens, not at Powell Gardens, at the Overland Park, Arboretum,
Yes.
that's in June. So that's why we're focused on May. And then, of course, we had to work around Rockfest, which is now the last weekend of May.
You didn't want the painters
So
up there at the same
we're
time as
before
them?
the mud, not after.
That would have been some interesting things.
We're not expecting a lot of people. We're hoping to have about 50 or plus artists participate. They'll be at the park at different times. They'll be spread out the park.
Oh, sure.
During the quick draw events, they'll be at one specific location, so we don't know what those are yet. It may be at just the Liberty Memorial and do the architecture. It may be at the Pioneer Mother. It may be over at the Scout. So at that time, the crowd, there may be larger numbers of people during those quick draws, we're hoping. And then a little bit on Saturday when we have the other 2 quick draws and the children are able to come. As part of this, we also have, our judge is Phil Stark, who is from Tucson. He also has family here, so he's going to be staying with family, which we didn't know at the time, which saves us a little bit of money. But he is also hosting a class. He does classes across the country, and he'll be doing a class for 3 days before the event. So we're not looking at having large crowds in the park at any one time, but we're hoping to have people see that there's activity in the park at various times of the day and be interested in stopping in and out.
Very good. Any questions at this time?
Are you going to be painting?
Pardon?
Are you going to be painting?
No. My painting is walls and rooms. I'm not going to do anything else.
Very good.
At this time, we're not expecting much of an expense on behalf of the Parks Department, because we may use the bandwagon a couple of times, but it happens whether rain or shine, and except for the food trucks, that'll be about the only trash and anything that happens. So we're not expecting this to be a heavy park concert. We do support your advertisement and publicity and that kind of thing, and assisting us with sponsorships if you so desire, but that would be the support that would be needed.
Great.
How long are the quick paints?
Pardon?
How, the quick paints?
Quick paints are 2 hours,
2 hours.
and they will be judged right after the event.
Okay. Cool.
And the person, the sponsors for the quick paint, if there, any sponsors we get for the quick paints are $500, they get the winning paint.
Oh,
They get the winning painting.
cool.
On the other awards, like for the whole event, they can have a selection of the paint, but they don't automatically get the winning painting. That with Buttonwood does this on a regular basis for nonprofits. They do it as a support. They will also host the private event, the ticketed event, and where we honor the sponsors will be at the Buttonwood Art Theater after the paintings are put up. And then they will host, the paintings will be on display for about 6 weeks. And they will also host a First Friday event to show the displays.
That's very nice.
As part of the program, any painting that's sold, the Conservancy gets 40% of what the paint cost, and that will be a small split between us and and Buttonwood.
Okay. Great.
So, but we're not, we want to break even. It is, hopefully in
That's
the
a
future,
start.
we could make this more of a profit deal, but part of our mission that we came out with after we finished our strategic plan was how do we get more people into the park? And how do we showcase the park and educate the people on what the park is? So we think this is a way to get people into the park and to see activity going on inside.
Very much so. Great. Thank you.
I think it looks like a great event, and certainly couldn't pick a prettier park and setting in the city to do all this, and this is neat. Yeah, so, and thank you to you and the Conservancy and all you do. It's a great partnership, and we
Thank you.
very, very much appreciate it.
Very much so.
We're 3 years old this March. So March 10th, we were 3 years old. So I think we've made quite a bit of progress for a 3-year-old
Oh,
organization.
I'd say so.
Absolutely.
And I do encourage you to go out and check out the website. It's penvalleypark.org.
We are tweeting about it right now.
Very good. All right. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution
Thank you,
passes.
Donna.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Best of luck at the event.
Thank you. I hope to come back next year with even a bigger one and maybe something else.
We look forward to it. Thank you.
Thanks, Don.
On to
Thanks, Shannon.
resolution number 30159.
Yes, Commissioners, this is a request for time extension for the Skywalk Memorial Foundation to build a memorial in Hospital Hill Park. As mentioned earlier, Brent Wright with the Skywalk Memorial Foundation was not able to be here. We'll have him back here in 2 weeks to give an update on their fundraising, but we would ask for a 18-month extension for them to complete their fundraising before they start construction.
Okay. Any questions, comments?
Move to approve.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. Resolution number 30160 regarding fee
Yes,
changes.
Commissioner, this is a request for some fees and charges up at the Line Creek Community Center, and Terry's here to answer any questions you have.
Any questions of Terry regarding these fees and charges related to Line Creek? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. Resolution number 30162.
Yes, Commissioners, this is a
6-1.
6-1.
6-1, excuse me.
Grounds maintenance services on Ward Parkway. You have a memo in your packet from Forrest Decker, and he's here to answer any questions. And you see it spells out in detail the costs to provide these various grounds maintenance services along the section of Ward Parkway, basically from the Plaza South out to the end of it at Warnell Road. And this is coming from private funding, and we'll mention that. And again, if you have any questions, Forrest is here.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, very good. Resolution passes. Resolution number 30162.
Yes, Commissioners, this is a resolution we were asking for the board to do, and then subsequently passed on the city council regarding the park maintenance tax and the boulevard and front foot tax. One might ask why we're doing this, since there's no money involved, but the way the charter is established, we do a resolution every year, and we just set the rate at 0. And if you have any questions, Forrest is here. Sherry knows a little bit about this as well. And if you have any questions, otherwise, that's what we recommend.
So we have to do this every year.
Our attorney says we do that every year.
Okay. After our budget discussion, I wonder if we just put a number in.
Yeah, put
Yeah, I mean, that's.
$100 in there, right?
Kind of I'll vote against that. No,
Me too. It shocked me when I saw it was in here.
we made, this is, again, part of the
Big promise we made.
promise which we made to the
Yes.
citizens, and they were kind enough to give us a rather predictable funding stream, and if we have to do this every year, so be it.
So, yeah, it's a good reminder to what we promised. So with that, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
So motion is seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. Resolution number 30163.
Yes, Commissioners, this is a request to do an amendment to our contract with Eldorado Architects for the Swope Park Greenhouse, and we talked about this earlier, that Heather did the presentation on the scope of work involved, and of course Travis mentioned why we're asking for this approval, this amendment today, and so that's our recommendation.
Okay. Any questions, comments? All right, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. Thank you. On to resolution number 30164.
Yes, Commissioners, this is amendment number 4 with the engineering firm of Towle, Fair and Brown for work on Shoal Creek Parkway. This is a time extension for the section they're working on up along the 96th Street corridor. And if you have any questions on this, Jimmy Lossing is here. She's our project manager. And otherwise, we recommend approval.
Any questions to Jimmy regarding this resolution, the recommendation? All right, no comments. With that, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. Resolution number 30165.
Yes, Commissioners, this is change order 3 with Gunter Construction. Doing a lot of work up at Hidden Valley Park, a new trail and parking lot and lighting and a variety of other items, and this would put in a new playground at the cost of $173,000. Recommend approval, and again, Jimmy's here if you have any questions, and also you have a guest today too, Jimmy, is that correct?
Yes. Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
So, today, we are asking for approval for change order 3. That's going to be putting in playground equipment in Hidden Valley Park. And we have Keith Nelson, who is here. He is a community leader. He lives just north of Hidden Valley Park. And he's been very instrumental in helping with the master plan for the north part of Hidden Valley Park, and he's also put his blood and sweat into doing a lot of work down in the natural area south of Russell Road, building trails, doing honeysuckle removal. I don't know what else have you done for us. So, again, change order number 3 is a time extension and also doing, putting in play equipment. That's a big climbing structure and swings and some other equipment. And we're trying to make sure that it's stuff that you can see through and so that you can see through it and be able to see all of Hidden Valley.
So where is this going to be placed?
It's going to be north of the parking lot.
The new parking
The
lot.
brand new parking lot. So we started with the parking lot, and we put in a trail, and then we change ordered trail lighting at the last change order. And this is going to be putting the playground in and also doing grading work for just the shelter, which would go just adjacent to the playground.
Yeah. So if I'm standing in the parking lot,
It's going to be right north of you. So north of you,
To
there's that
left.
big tree, so it's going to be between the tree and the rain garden.
Okay.
So remember the the
Kind of into the side of the hill? or-
a little bit inside of the hill, but just north of
Okay.
the parking lot. And the parking lot's been shifted down,
Mhm.
so,
Okay. Great.
and that helped with visibility tremendously.
Great.
So.
It's exciting.
I'd like to have some comments from our
Yeah,
guest
would love
on
to.
this and get his interpretation of what we're doing and see if we're halfway at least meeting his expectations.
Again, my name's Keith Nelson. I do appreciate the support we've been given in the past on this project. We had 2 city councilmen, as soon as they were elected, stepped up and made this one of their priorities to see the development of Hidden Valley Park, recognizing the need with the population surrounding it and the fact that we've owned that property for some 50-some years. So finally, it's being developed, and it's going to be a wonderful asset for all of Kansas City, but especially for the community out there. It has been lip-biting slow for those of us who wanted to see this advance much quicker. From the get-go, we pointed out the fact that we need to work as fast as we can on this project while we have 2 councilmen in there that have made this a priority. I will say that I'm extremely disappointed in this last phase that we've gotten into, the playground equipment. Our neighborhood association was the one that applied for funding through PIAC, which it was granted last year, and it's been taken a full year to get plans for playground equipment, and playground equipment is due, as your document says there, mid-June. So 14 months from the time you have the money seems like an awful long time to me, but I'm not into this, so I don't know how long these phases take. We already had a master plan in effect, but I do want you to know how it has affected the next phase of the project in the fact that I was given a courtesy call and we were not approved of our request for the next phase of PIAC because they said that we need to let Parks and Rec catch up with the funding that we've already allocated for the park. So we got no funding for the next phase because of that. So that's very disappointing for our neighborhood group. But anyway, I'm here today. I want to support this resolution on behalf of the North Bennington Neighborhood Association. But I also will change hats, and I'm the chairperson of the Wynwood Briarcliff Area Study Plan, and to let you know that this planned improvements are in compliance with that study plan. So thank you very much.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
comments.
Thank you very much. It was real helpful.
Okay, with that, any other questions or comments regarding this resolution? All right, hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good, resolution passes. Resolution number 30166 regarding gifts and contributions.
Yes, Commissioners, we received a significant contribution from the Ward family, These funds are being used, actually, one of the items earlier on the agenda, talking about grounds maintenance is part of that, plus other areas throughout the park and boulevard system. Recommend acceptance.
Okay. Is there a motion to accept the gifts?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, very good. Resolution passes. On to the director's report.
Yes, Travis, major construction.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Afternoon, sir.
As you'll note by the items in front of you, the topic is major construction, of which we have none due to inclement weather, so we had some minor construction.
Oh.
So,
What's that wrong with the weather?
first one we have is the bronze door that's being installed on the tower at Liberty Memorial. It's actually a rehabilitation of the bronze door, and Jimmy Lossing's project manager on the Liberty Memorial project, and is listed as some of the professionals involved: Gould Evans, Susan Richards Johnson, and structural engineers and associates. Inside, you can see some of the rehabilitation work going on. This is interior work is about the only work being constructed now, with the below zero conditions, frozen ground, and so forth. So. Any questions on the bronze door rehabilitation? The other one's a little closer. It's the repairs being made to Swope Pool, and the pictures are even less telling than the ones provided by Jimmy. When you have pictures of pipes, they're just not quite as sexy as a bronze door, but some of the situations we were faced at the Swope Pool was continuous loss of prime on the pumps down there, and with that problem you stand a chance of cavitation, which would obviously ruin the pumps and not allow the pool to operate. So we're taking advantage of the downtime, and even with the snow on the ground, to try to get those lines repaired and get things back in order, so we're up and running for Memorial Day. Any questions?
Questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Marketing report, Heidi.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Okay. Still finalizing our 2013 year in review, working on getting our final numbers, and then that will go to print, and we'll have that. And it should be actually up on the website in PDF form by the beginning of next week. So we'll put it up there while it's at the printer so you can access that. Working as well on the spring and summer activities guides. And the gold medal award application will be meeting after this meeting, correct, Commissioner Mecklenburg? Okay, good. That is due March the 24th, so we're getting here down to the final deadlines here. And I know everyone's frantically writing, well, actually editing, because the answers for the application are so short. They only allow like 60 to 90 words. And I've never realized how difficult it is to write just a little bit. It's kind of like difficult it is for me to talk just a little bit. So anyway, those are the
You can
kind of...
imagine my problem.
Yeah, it's been quite a challenge, but you know what? You're very concise and to the point when you're only writing about your projects in 60 words. We do have the results of the park survey, and that's one I want to go over with you right now. And as you recall, this was a customer service survey that goes out to all of our database, as well as posted on all of our social media, so people could complete the survey. It went up mid-January, and we took it down mid-February. So we've compiled the results here. And what I have, you guys got the kind of pretty version in your board packet that had the charts and stuff. This is the same information, but I've gone ahead and compared it to the 2012 survey and the city survey that comes out of the city manager's office. Some of the questions are exactly the same, and we thought it would be interesting to see what the general citizens think versus the actual people who use our parks and facility think on certain questions. So last year, we did not do this customer service survey, we focused on a marketing survey because of the rebranding efforts, so it was completely different questions. So that's why you're seeing a comparison here between 12 and 14 versus 13. So the first question, how often do you or your members of your household visit Kansas City, Missouri parks or facilities, has remained the same. Basically, also, did you visit more or less? It's about the same. 40% are visiting more versus 38 and 12. 50%, around 49% are visiting about the same as they did in the previous years. If you visit more, what is the reason? Better informed, I like that that's almost the highest one. Actually, other is, but it doesn't. Or not applicable because they're visiting just the same amount. What's parks, operated facilities, or amenities do you visit the most often? The zoo is the top one again. The exercise trails and community centers have both gone up, I think, a significant, I guess 6 or 7%. So I think that says something. The others have pretty much stayed the same. And then there were some that we had this year on the list that we did not have in 212. And then you turn the page backwards because I can't figure out how to work the copy machine, but and have it staple on the correct side of the page, but you can still get to it. On question number 5, the average amount of time that citizens spend in the park is pretty much around 1 to 2 hours at 41%, and that stayed the same as it did the previous year. How important are the following benefits? The top 4 are the same this year. Beauty and aesthetics was 3rd, and physical activity and health was 4th. And those two were flip-flopped in the previous year. Of course, social interaction and entertainment remain number 1 and number 2 reason for importance of benefits of parks and recreation. Then we have how satisfied are you with the overall quality, and 81 of parks and recreation programs. And 81% are very satisfied or satisfied. And that's about the same as it was in 2012. Now, these next groupings of questions, you'll see we have the city in the middle column there, and that's because these are exact same questions that were asked on the city citizen satisfaction survey. So we can go ahead and compare how our users answered it versus people who just happened to live in our city and randomly received a survey in the mail. So, and then these questions weren't asked in 2012, so that's why you'll see not applicable on that column. But how satisfied are you with the maintenance of city parks? Our survey was 72% satisfied or very satisfied, about the same as the city, 69%. How satisfied are you with the maintenance of boulevards and parkways? Our survey, 62. General city, 64, again, about the same. Mowing and tree trimming, how satisfied are you? Very satisfied or satisfied, our survey showed 58%. The city showed 48%, so there's kind of a substantial difference there. The quality of facilities, picnics, shelters, playgrounds that are in the park. Interesting enough, our survey showed 50%, citywide, they were at 64%, so we'll have to talk about that one. Walking and biking trails, about the same, 56 and 53% for city and parks users. Okay, here's a good one. How satisfied are you with the quality of customer service from KC Parks employees? Our parks users were 61% very satisfied or satisfied, and just people who in the city who received the survey are only 45% satisfied. So I'm not certain that they have had interaction with the Kansas City Parks employees. Number 14, how satisfied are you with the reasonableness of fees charged? The people who use our facilities are satisfied or very satisfied. The city survey showed at 54%, and then the city survey showed 44%. Well, now interesting, in 2012, our survey was at 68% satisfied versus very satisfied on our fees. So that's a substantial change, and again, that's something else we'll have to look into. How satisfied are you with the city swimming pool programs? Very satisfied or satisfied, our users say 24%. The city satisfied rate is 39%. How satisfied are you with the city's youth programs? our users say 18% are very satisfied or satisfied. The city survey said 36%. So I will say that in the city survey, it did say how satisfied are you with the city's youth athletics programs. So there is a little bit of a difference in the wording of the question, but that's still a big difference. What additional activities would you like to see offered for youth? Now, I have that attached. You did receive this in your packet. It's just, and I've just attached the one that was kind of combined with like answers. Obviously, the ice rinks this year are extremely important. If you recall, in the previous years, a user group typically will get a hold of the survey and send it out to everyone who has the same interest of them. And it looks like this year the ice skating people got a hold of it. We've had dog park people in the past and disc golf course people in the past the same way. So obviously, this whole section is basically more. You know, more ice, more leagues, more trails, more programs, more arts, more everything. So you can take a look at that at your leisure. I don't think there's anything really very different or shocking in these answers. It just is always or never enough. Okay. So question 18, we have you visited, now we get kind of back into the social media and marketing questions. Have you visited the Parks and Recreation website? That's gone up just a little bit. In 12, it was 79% had. This year, it was 83% had. Facebook, looks like a few more people are following us or like us, Kansas City Parks, on Facebook. And not very many of them are tweeting. Like 76% of them actually aren't even on Twitter. But of the ones that are, and answered this, 5% said they do follow us, and 20% don't currently, but said they would. So I anticipate that our numbers of followers will just jump dramatically. How do you prefer to see your parks-related information? 81% prefer to get it on the website or email, and that is versus social networking, flyer brochure, newspaper, and direct mail. So that's not really changed that much from the previous years. People do like to get their stuff on the internet. And then this is just some kind of demographic information. A full, 52% of the people who responded to the survey actually live and work in Kansas City. But 80-something% of them either live, work, or both. As always, it's the women who fill out this survey. And people who are more than 40.
Yeah. One thing I would just like to note is that we can use, our weekend activities now and our summer activities to get kids more involved in, hashtagging and tweeting or whatever. Find a way to incentivize them to do so by, taking pictures at the events or whatever, so that the next go around we can get more of them to respond. And I think it will impact the numbers of who's on Twitter. I mean, obviously, like you said, it's older females that are responding, and yet it's still a lot of young kids that use our facilities. So those numbers should be high.
Yeah, trying to get them, invested in responding to things. So this is way too many questions for kids that age. I mean, I think that you would look at 24 questions and be like, I don't have time for this. But if we could tweet out one question at a time or something, to them, I think that would be a good way, because their attention span is pretty short. What is 140 characters?
Trying to increase our listserv, both in terms of Twitter and email addresses, with some drop your information into a fishbowl basically and draw for a free monthly membership at each of the sites. And then of course our partnership with the CBE over the course of the winter has helped us add about 400 kids to our database. So that is a real push to try and reach them through the means that they like to be reached.
Yes, I don't even know that younger kids even really look at email or have email addresses. And I know many of them, they aren't on Facebook anymore either. So it's a challenge, and it's one we're constantly working on. But we're working, once we get there, then they go here. Right. Those darn kids are always one step ahead. But it sure is fun. Anyway, anyway, we've got a couple of events coming up this month, and the next big one is the St. Patrick's Day parades. We're going to be in both the Brookside and the main Kansas City parade. So that's Saturday, March the 15th for the Brookside parade, and Monday the 17th for the general Kansas City parade. So if any of you guys want to ride on the float, bring your kids, friends, family, let me know or let Shannon know. And we'll make sure to save a space for you and get you all of the detailed information. And then at the end of the month, we have the Flower Lawn and Garden Show. And that is at Bartle Hall, and we, of course, do that in cooperation with the Home Builders Association. We're doing it a little bit differently this year, in that we're going to just have one main stage that we will put our stuff on and their stuff on. So there won't be two Home Builders Association's main stage and then Parks and Recreation stage. So we'll have one really busy stage full of stuff, which I think will be kind of cool. And they're going to do a lot of AV kind of fun things in the background. So we'll have some good images up there and websites and logos and our icons flashing in the background. Of course, we have the awards on the main stage this year, and that is 5 p.m. on Friday, March the 28th, if you want to come and present the awards to the landscapers. And it's time to think about fountains coming back on. And that's Fountain Day is April the 8th at 11 o'clock, and it's going to be at the Eagle Scout Memorial Fountain, which is at 39th and Gillum. So really excited about that. And then there's just one addition to the calendar that I send out to you guys, I think, and that would be our Employee Appreciation Breakfast, where our employees receive their pins for, is this service to Parks and Recreation in the spring, right? For the years of service to our department. And we'll do that in the bandstand in the morning and on May the 21st, which is a Wednesday. 7:30 in the morning. We usually have pancakes and sausage and tang. We have concluded the naming contest. Do you want to tweet it out first?
Sure.
How many votes were there?
We had 164 people respond. We had 4 choices: the KC Kahuna, the Pipeline, the Riptide, and the Bay Rider. Of course, this is for the new surf simulator that is coming to the Bay Water Park, and we'll be opening up Memorial Day weekend. And the winner is Bay Rider. 44.5% voted for the Bay Rider. The second, I guess, next in line was the KC Kahuna, followed by the Riptide and the Pipeline. So
Bay Rider.
the Bay Rider it is, which makes sense. It was officially, or is the Flow Rider, so Bay Rider. Yeah, so we'll be getting the word out, following the Commissioner Bryant's lead there, and tweeting it out as soon as I get out of this meeting. I'll just retweet your tweet. So that's all I have for now.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Does not appear to be anything on public hearing.
Anybody here for that?
Do we, let's do calendar review, and then I believe we got one item to go into closed session on. So let's just do calendar review. That way we can
Yeah,
have
calendar
no other
review.
business coming out of executive session.
We're in March. Of course, we were talking a bit earlier, City of Fountains Foundation has their board meeting tomorrow, and that's over at the Esser and Denton firm on Main Street. And then the Little Memorial has their board meeting on Thursday at 11:30. And then we talked earlier about the budget meeting following that at 1:05 in the City Council 10th floor. Black County Park Partners on the 12th, and then back here for a board meeting on the 18th. Starlight board meeting on the 20th. And as I mentioned earlier, we got our NRPA session at the end of the month. And then our next meeting after the 18th of March will be our first meeting in the month of April, which is the 1st.
April Fools.
That'll be a fun meeting. Okay, great.
Okay.
Can I get a motion to go into closed session from anybody? Want to make that motion?
I had one of our attorneys do that, but
We have to find the language.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session to discuss legal, real estate, or personnel issues pursuant to revised statute section 610.021.
Is there, let's see, a second to that motion?
second.
All right, Commissioner Donahue?
Yes.
Hackenberg?
Yes.
Bryant?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
And Jean-Paul Choran votes yes. We are in closed
What's
session.
the,